It's 50 years of the ShopRite Can sale. Now, ShopRite does the can, selling lots of brands of everything in cans. Now's the time to stock up and save. Now's the time to stock up and celebrate. Shop the can sale at ShopRite. It's 50 years of the ShopRite Can sale. 5 decades of unbeatable deals and this unforgettable song. Now, ShopRite does the can, selling lots of brands of everything in cans. Today's weekend save some cash, so the ShopRite Can Dash. You'll save so much on every brand. Now's the time to shop at ShopRite's Can Dash. Now's the time to stock up and save. Now's the time to stock up and celebrate. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of the ShopRite Can sale. Stock up and save at ShopRite.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
It's 2:06. Chris.
I'm Aaron. I'm sorry. I jumped. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's all right.
Rob always goes second. That's Rob. I'm Aaron. Here we are again. Getting stoned. We should make a cover of that. Here we are again, getting stoned. Maybe not?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know it was an actual
Right.
song.
Oh,
No, it's just Whitesnake.
Oh.
come on. You remember Tawny Katane on the fucking hood of the car?
Still the night, I remember, yeah.
In the clingy dress. Was that the video? It was for Still in the Night?
Yeah. I can't forget that video.
With this video.
What is this from?
Old school.
Old school.
Oh,
Classic
yeah.
movie.
Black smoke pouring out of his Camaro. Is that Camaro?
Yeah. Or a Firebird.
I got a fresh beer.
One of the two.
There's a Firebird. It should have a T-top.
I don't know. He's got the hood up. I can't
Wow.
tell.
That's really loud.
Oh, T-top.
Thanks. Took the restrictor plate off, give the Red Dragon a little more juice. But let's keep that on the down low. It's not exactly street legal.
So it'll have been 2 weeks when this podcast comes out that Infinity War has been out. Is it safe to talk spoilers now?
It's up to you, man.
I say yes.
I don't care.
Okay. Right. I was going to ask you if you had seen it, but I think you'd have to be pretty invested in the Marvel movies, first of all, to want to see this movie.
Yeah.
It's not like, I've seen 3 or 4 of them. Let me see what this Infinity War is all about. You'd probably be a little lost.
Yeah, 10 years. You'd have to watch a lot of film to catch up. 30 hours, I think.
I think the last Marvel movie I saw before the Guardians of the Galaxy movies was Thor.
Well,
Wasn't Thor like the first one?
No, Iron Man.
Iron Man, and then they made the
Oh no, wait!
Incredible Hulk.
I saw the Avengers movie. Whatever one had the Soundgarden song in it. I saw that one because I remember sitting in the
Had a
theater going,
Soundgarden
"Hey,
song?
that's fucking Soundgarden." Yeah, I think the first Avengers movie I saw.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Was it the one where they were going up against the aliens that were trashing New York? Or was it the Ultron one? I don't remember the Soundgarden song.
This one, yeah, the first Avengers movie.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that song now.
Yeah, because I remember sitting in the credits going, "Holy shit, that's fucking Soundgarden."
Well, you've seen enough of them to have gotten a glimpse of Thanos, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
seen Iron Man.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in this movie, Thanos, we'll just cut straight to the chase here. Thanos gets all the fucking Infinity Stones after many, many battle scenes that are packed into that movie. And with a snap of his fingers, makes half the universe disappear.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, so many scenes and moments out of that movie, you can't. It's like a blur. I'm gonna have to see it again.
Yeah, I definitely am due for another watching. I think it was a good choice to kill off Loki in the first scene.
Is he really dead?
Well, he's God dead, and Marvel God dead at that, so no.
Okay.
Like, Loki's died.
He's died many times in the universe, the cinematic universe.
That's true. Yeah, he's come back even in the movies. He's come back in the comics. He's a Marvel character. He's a god. So there's no way he's dead.
Right. I mean, we saw him get strangled.
We'll see. We'll see him again.
Well, we see the Hulk again.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're going to see the Hulk next movie. I'm sure that.
I'm sure too.
But yeah, so Loki dies in it, and it's a great way to go to really establish what the stakes are, what these heroes are dealing with in this movie, how powerful Thanos is. Because Loki was the big bad from the Avengers movie, and he's been, while we've kind of seen him over the course of different movies, start to show his better side at times.
He's evolved as a character,
He definitely has, and he's matured a little bit. He's still the king of lies or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
But to have him be, this is the big bad from the first Avengers movie, and Thanos shows up and kills him. Mm-hmm. Basically saying, I'm the big bad now, and I'm basically 10 times more dangerous than you are.
It's a great character, too. I mean...
And that wasn't even the only prior villain that we saw in this. We saw the Red Skull.
Yeah, that's right. The Stonekeeper, now known as... He's been trapped there for so long.
Right. Now, this is actually... They stole a little bit from Nick Fury's story from the Marvel Comics to do what they did with the Red Skull. Because Red Skull was basically whatever his punishment for tampering with reality was to be kind of like a watcher, where he just has to observe and he can't do anything. He's just supposed to sit there. And that happens. That's Nick Fury's punishment for killing a watcher, actually.
Damn.
There's a kind of ridiculous storyline where Nick Fury kills the watcher, Uatu, and uses his eye to basically glean information about crimes and things going on Earth. Because the Watcher, as he witnesses everything, witnesses some murder or something like that, some crime that Nick Fury is investigating. And the Watcher refuses to give up his info. Mm-hmm. You know, his job is not to meddle. That would be meddling if he gave law enforcement info on what was going on. Now, it's funny because we only ever see the Watcher in Marvel Comics when he chooses to break that rule and actually get involved. Like, nobody just puts the Watcher in one panel, like standing on a hill and just like, oh, there's the Watcher, he's watching shit. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
if the Watcher shows up, he's like, I know I'm not supposed to be getting involved in this shit, but like, this shit's crazy and I just gotta tell somebody. He only shows up to break his one and only rule of do not interfere. But I digress. Yeah, we saw the Red Skull.
Yeah, it was wild.
I mean, the Red Skull, he didn't die in it, but...
No, he's just trapped in that world.
Right, we saw him essentially neutered. Well, did we see any other villains in this? Those are the only two prior villains that showed up that I can think of.
Yeah, I think that's... Good.
So,
I mean, good. It was a great movie. I mean,
but let's skip right to the end, though. Like, literally, more than half of the characters disappear at the end of this movie. Mm-hmm. Like, Thanos literally snaps his fingers, and Bucky turns to ash. Spider-Man turns to ash. Black Panther turns to ash. Fucking
racist. He just got here. He was going to save us from racism.
Spider-Man. Or Iron Spider turned to ash.
Did RDJ make it?
Yep. He is there.
He's not Ash.
He's stuck with what's her nuts.
Interestingly enough, all of the original Avengers are still there. It's all the secondary characters that died.
Well, no Hawkeye, though.
Hawkeye's not even in it.
Yeah.
He's an early member, but not an original. Ant-Man and Wasp weren't in it, and they are both original Avengers.
Well, Hawkeye's original to the MCU. Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man and Wasp are in the comic books. They were on the first Avengers team.
Okay.
Along with, Hulk joins after a while. They actually get together to fight Hulk, much like in the first Avengers movie. It was Iron Man, Captain America came later, but not that much later. Ant-Man, Wasp, Hulk. Who am I missing? Thor. So, theories. You must have at least one theory. Like,
on what?
What's going to happen next?
Oh, I mean, I know a lot of already, spoiler-wise, because I'm one of those people that do it to myself. So, I mean, I kind of already know, like, where the people are. They're not dead, per se.
But nobody's revealed that, have they?
Well, I mean, it's in comic book lore. They have it connected in, like the Soul Stone and how...
Oh, okay, so... pulling from Marvel Comics history and assuming that the Russo brothers are pulling from that same history.
Well, yeah. I mean, they pretty much have for this whole movie.
So that's not a definite spoiler.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What is it?
Well, they're saying that all the characters that disappeared in this movie are now trapped within the Soul Stone along with Gamora, who they, got thrown off the cliff there. For the Soul Stone.
So we're thinking that, Gamora's another one. Well, yeah, we should clarify. Like, does
she die?
There's Dead, and then there's Infinity Dead.
Yeah.
Right? So there's movies like Loki dies by getting choked. Gamora gets thrown off a cliff. She dies.
Heimdall died.
Heimdall.
Yeah.
One last rainbow connection, and he was out.
Yeah, that was sweet. I didn't know he could do it on his own.
Yeah.
The transfer.
Yes. I think everything else, his whole little, I don't even know what you call that. He has, his station, his outfit and all that. It's all artifice.
Just like the hammer.
Turns out the Rainbow Road was inside of him the whole time. Yes. You're not God of Hammers.
Yeah.
Right. So, Vision was another, real dead.
Is he really dead? Because they were trying to say that isn't he more than just a stone? Isn't there more to him?
As dead as an android could ever be.
The power source is gone. It's like you took out the power source out of your computer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also begs a question, and I hope they get to this. I hope they bring the Vision back, but I hope it's at least addressed, he's back, but is it really him? What makes him him? Right? The Infinity Stone that was in his head was what allowed the technology in him to achieve that greater evolution, to be an actual sentient being, right?
Right.
That's what made the difference. Tony could have made a robot, or I'm sorry, he did make a robot. He made a robot with that was Ultron, and Ultron went the step further and gave it that extra magic, quote unquote, with what stone is it that was in his head anyway? I thought it was going to be the Soul Stone.
That's Jesus.
Maybe that was a little too on the nose.
Was it the Reality Stone, or is that no?
No, because he had that when he was acquiring the Soul Stone.
I'm trying to think.
Right? Which one did he get from the Collector? He had the Reality Stone at that point because he made it look like he
I think
had.
That was the Reality one.
Oh, I don't know. I can't even keep track.
Because he changed it when they got there, remember?
Right.
And they were like, oh, we're in time. Oh, the Mind Stone was what was Vision.
Right, okay.
The Soul Stone was...
that makes sense now.
Yeah. Then the Reality Stone, the Power Stone, the Space Stone, and the Time
So
Stone.
he could come back, but if Vision comes back and he doesn't have the Mind Stone to give him that higher intelligence, where does it come from, and is it still him?
Right.
Is Vision still Vision? But it's kind of like, is Groot? Is baby Groot, or is it Groot Jr.? Because remember,
it was just Groot.
It was a stick that Rocket took from Groot's remains after he blew up at the end of the first Guardians movie, and he grew that into baby Groot. So does that mean it's still Groot?
I always thought it was Groot. I never differentiated
Do you think Groot remembers? He can't have, because he's acting like, even in this, he's a teenager now, right?
Right.
So he's he's not acting like he remembers any of his past. He's growing up all over again.
Well,
So I don't know.
That's yeah.
I don't even know how Groot's reproduced. So,
Yeah.
but Thor speaking Groot was a nice touch.
Yeah, that was funny. So you understand him? Yeah. Of course I do.
Yeah, wasn't it like an elective class or something?
He's Chris Hemsworth. He don't understand anything.
So Gamora and everybody else that faded away as a direct result from the completed Infinity Gauntlet. The theory is that they're in the Soul Stone.
Yeah, that's one theory. The other theory is that these people are actually gone, which is stupid because they have already slated another Spider-Man. They have slated Doctor Strange.
So this means there's no more Guardians movies until
there's already
next
a Guardians
War.
Volume 3.
Who's like Gamora's? We'll say Gamora's in the Soul Stone,
Right.
and so is Groot.
Yep.
So that leaves Drax.
Drax is in there.
And no, did Drax fade?
Yes.
So it's only Rocket and Peter that are left?
And that could be
No, Peter's gone too.
Wait, Peter disappeared?
Yeah.
So only Rocket's left?
Yes.
Jack, you can't even keep track of all these.
Rocket and what's her name? Gamora's sister.
Nebula.
Nebula's still there with Tony on the planet.
Oh, right. What about
And
Mantis?
Mantis is gone.
But they've got that whole other Guardians team, like the Sylvester Stallone one.
Oh, I thought those were just Ravagers.
No, I think they're going to form their own Guardians team. Because those are the members of the original Guardians from the comic books.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I know they have already, obviously, at the end, very end, if you stayed past the credits end, you know, the whole thing with Nick Fury and the other agent, what's her name? I can't remember. They faded away as well.
Is that Maria Hill?
I believe so. That's his, like, her right hand, or his right hand woman, you know, basically. Yes. But he pulls out that souped up pager and, you know, fiddling with it until he faded away and
almost drops an F-bomb.
Yeah.
On a Disney movie.
Which would have been great.
It was kind of great. He said, so Chris, everyone at the end of the movie is fading away. And then final credit scene, we see Maria Hill and Nick Fury. And, you know, they see that, you know, they hit a car and there's nobody in it and people start disappearing. And then Maria Hill starts disappearing. And fucking Sam Jackson's fiddling with the pager trying to use it and realizing that he's fading as well. And he just goes, oh, mother. Like, as he fades out. And I'm like, that's as close as we're ever going to get to a motherfucker from Sam Jackson in a Marvel movie.
Hey, you still got it.
But yeah, then we saw the Captain Marvel logo on the pager.
Yeah, the message was sent to Captain Marvel.
So it'll be interesting where that goes because
like if he's using a pager, does that mean that he's calling her in 1980?
I thought it was
1985. I think the movie's going to be in, I think, the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
Maybe it is
early
in the 90s. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, and
that would make sense. We didn't really have pagers.
They've already released some pictures, too, of Sam Jackson with both eyes, which is interesting. And hair.
And then just like Hollywood, they can't just let the woman have a movie of her own. It's got to be a Nick Fury origin story, too.
Well, they have to tie him in.
No, I know.
Yeah. Can't just leave them out. Important shit.
Like, headlines like this annoy me. And it's like, why not just write, I'm a millennial as your headline? Why it's hard to move on after Avengers Infinity War.
Move on from...
Number one, it's a movie. Number two, it's a movie. Number three, it's a movie.
What is this from? The Hollywood...
The Hollywood Reporter.
Marvel has made a... Oh, wait. What does it say? Marvel has made a main event out of the type of shock that people used to sit through closing credits for. Okay. Used to? I mean, they still do.
They were literally showing the list of all the people that were falling out. Yeah, at that point. I forgot Falcon also faded away.
Falcon, Rhodey.
Rhodey did not fade away.
Rhodey did not?
Nope. Neither did Hulk or, like you said, the originals from the movie. Black Widow did not fade away.
Did that part when Bucky picks up Rocket?
Oh, yeah. Spins around with
They
him.
do the spin around move.
Yeah, that was cool.
There were so many, I didn't even think of this until I listened to Mark Bernardin's review. The guy who writes he's the head writer on I don't know if he's a head writer, but he's one of the head writers on the Castle Rock project that's coming out on Amazon.
Oh, there you go.
The Stephen King property.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how, at the end of the movie, Thor plunges his new axe into the chest of Thanos.
Stormbreaker, yep.
With the intentions of killing him. And Thanos says to him, you should have gone for the head, and then does his snap. And Mark Bernardin's like,
did he do a saucy snap?
Why did he didn't? He had an axe in his chest, so he couldn't go all the way around.
Here's the list.
Thor, what? This is even going too fast. Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh,
That's Maria Hill.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch.
The dude that Nick Fury rudely shoves in New York. Oh, it was just some dude that that disappeared. Right. So, Mark Bernardin was talking about not only he shouldn't have gone for the head, he should have gone for the hand, right? That was their original, when they were trying to get the glove off of him. That was the idea. It was like, if we can just separate him from the gauntlet.
Yeah, stupid Star-Lord fucked it up.
Yes. So why didn't Thor chop off his arm?
I was still gone for the head.
Yeah, that's another good one, but
more violent.
But Mark Bernardin points out that it's really irritating. It was irritating for him to see it led up to, in the way that everybody's losing limbs in this movie, right? Groot chops off his arm in order to make the handle for the axe. Somebody else gets their arm chopped off in it.
In that movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I know Bucky doesn't have an arm, but he gets one.
Yes, Bucky gets his arm back.
Or new arm.
There's all the creatures that are coming through the force field on Wakanda, and they're getting chopped off. They're like losing arms and heads because the shield's closing on them. Mm-hmm. There's at least one time where I can think of where somebody's arm got chopped off just randomly because Doctor Strange opened a portal. So there's many times in the movie where people lose limbs, and then it seems to lead up to like chop off the arm on Thanos and end your movie, and it doesn't. And maybe that's intentional. Maybe that was done just to fuck with people. Like, yeah, we could have ended this with an arm chop off, which there's got to be a word for, right? What is that called?
Dismemberment?
Is that just dismemberment? That applies to all limbs, but I guess that makes sense. So they could have ended it with some sort of delimbing, but they're like, but we didn't. We ended it this way, where everyone disappears and you have to wonder for the next year what's going to happen. I mean, we can take a pretty good guess. I mean, starting with the fact that they're in a soul stone, so that means the Avengers have a plan. And Doctor Strange might already know. Did Doctor Strange disappear?
Yes, he did.
He was on the list.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, but he already knows the outcome.
He knew the outcome.
Yep. He knows one way.
Maybe we'll actually see them. Maybe they'll work their way out of the Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone movie.
Yeah.
I think it's going to bounce between
It probably will. But we'll see the original Avengers go, okay, now we got to find a way to, like, undo this.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of movies.
Yes.
Solo is coming out in like
very soon,
2 weeks. I found out why, and I'm so annoyed by it.
You found out why it's coming out?
Yes. Well,
because most of the Star Wars movies have been at Christmas time.
Yes, exactly.
So the question is, why release it in spring?
Because the fanboys were bitching that the original trilogies came out in May. And that is why they shifted these movies to coming out in May now.
I'm sure that wasn't their only reason. I mean, it's true that fandom has more power than they've had ever before with social media.
It's like when I hear one of those things, it's like, God damn it, I'm lumped in with you people. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah, but you're not in the fandom. You're a fan of these movies, as in
Yeah, but still-
I will go see a Star
but
Wars
still,
movie and
the-
enjoy it.
Yeah.
No, but to the layman, I'm in the group of I'm going to go pay money to see this thing
Right.
that's in the theater.
No, if I ever come over here and you're on some Star Wars board, like picking apart who shot first between Han and Greedo, I'm going to have you scan for a brain tumor.
Like, what- yeah, what happened? Yeah.
Right. We're going to Beaumont and put you in the tube, fucker. Like,
Yeah, get in the
so,
tube.
Like, that is not you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did it actually change the... I mean, who's saying that it changed the day? Is the studio admitting
The
that,
one
like,
guy at work that I could talk, the one competent Star Wars fan at work.
that's his...
He's
is
way.
that his theory, or is that...
No, he said that's why it's.
He's stating it
the
as
studios
reason.
caved to pressure from. They're supposed to come out in May.
So are these going to... Are future Star Wars movies going to come out in the springtime? Or are they going to...
Because this all came from, I asked him, I'm like, so is it really bad or really good? Because these bitches are supposed to come out in December, and this one's coming out in May. This is the one that's had like 3 directors. Like,
This does seem it's the project that's been in the most trouble.
yes. And that's how it led into the fanboys were.
Knowing that they can do amazing things with trailers, the last trailer that I saw before Infinity War for the Solo film looked damn good. It looked like a really, really fun movie.
I mean, I'm gonna go see it. That's not in question.
Right.
I still want it to be Bill Hader as Han Solo.
That's the thing. Chris Pratt.
Not
Yeah,
that Bill
that would've been good.
Not that Bill Hader was ever in the running,
Well,
but
that's the
I
thing,
would
isn't
have.
isn't Chris
think he
Pratt
would've
already
done it
Han
great.
Solo? Isn't he just Marvel Han Solo?
Not really, but
I mean, they got
He is,
they got the element of
Maybe a little
law
more
breaking.
indie. Maybe a little more indie than Han. I mean, there is.
yeah.
There's some.
And he has more abilities.
There's some overlap. You know.
He's got 2 guns.
I mean,
Boots.
it's not like Harrison Ford is the most varied actor out there. You could probably make a Venn diagram of all of his parts, and a lot of it would overlap.
What do you think his best? Han Solo's his best role, right? Like Indy's a close second.
That's a bounce.
He got to be more of a smartass as Han Solo.
How are you defining it?
Smartass? It's pretty self-evident.
No. What is considered Harrison Ford's best role? If you're going to say most
Of his blockbuster roles.
if best is defined as most iconic
of his popcorn movie roles, what's his best role?
No, but if it's which one is the most iconic, then yes, it's Han Solo. His best role, like the best acting he's ever done, certainly not in any of the Star Wars movies.
Correct. You are correct,
I mean,
sir, on that one.
Regarding Henry, is ranked above any of those.
Oh, or hey, I'm an asshole, but then I got shot. No, I'm not. That movie?
I like that movie. I'm surprised you
didn't like Get Off My Plane. You didn't like that movie?
The only
That
thing they
movie I
miss is
liked.
they should have shot him again in the head to make him back into an asshole. And that's how it works in the movies, right?
Or what about
I liked him when he had the earring.
I didn't kill my wife? The
I enjoyed
Fugitive.
that movie. I enjoyed that
when
movie.
he says
very
that,
much.
Tommy Lee. Oh, that's what was that? The Accused?
The
Oh
Fugitive.
no, that's
Fugitive.
The Accused was the one where he had Kelly McGillis and she was an Amish woman. They saw murder. She saw murder.
Really?
Or the little boy did. Yeah, it's a weird ass movie, 80s movie. Yeah, he's a cop. They have sex in a barn.
Well, it's because she's Amish.
And Kelly McGillis.
What do you mean?
Did she have a dildo made out of a corn cob?
I think so.
You mean they had to have sex in the barn because she was Amish?
Yes.
That was the only
they
place to
raised
have
that.
it.
Well, it's his 80s. So the script called for it. He's really playing to the Amish. She's got to get fucked in a barn.
Yep. That's where they get fucked. In barns only.
Yes. In a barn that she helped build that afternoon.
Yes, there you go. Now we're onto it.
I think I'm all right for right now. I'm not going to get into this, and I'm going to edit this out, but I just have to share this. The phrasing is everything in a headline. Woman finds venomous creatures that can cause erections in her bananas.
Huh?
Like, your bananas are getting erections from being bit by spiders?
Wait,
Yeah.
so spiders can bite you and you get an erection?
Apparently. Nest of deadly spiders.
Does a spider look like Natalie Portman?
Capable of giving men painful 4-hour erections
Jesus.
and killing humans in just 2 hours.
So wait,
Wait,
you die halfway into the 4-hour erection?
but I still have I still get the 4-hour erection, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Before I die. That's what I want.
you're still erect for 2 hours after you die.
Yeah.
Doesn't it just... A man had to have written this, right? It shows your priority. First of all, you list the 4-hour erection before you list the death. And you listed it all, because who cares what happens after you die?
This article needs a semicolon or two.
Yeah. Better editing.
I think I would have at least said, you get a boner and then you die.
Yeah.
But not only do you have a 4-hour erection, you're dead halfway through it.
Cool.
Whatever works. No.
So there's been a lot of interesting cannabis news locally. You know, recently we've talked about in Michigan where we had signatures approved for a recreational program in Michigan that will look to go on the ballot this year.
Yep.
And the restructuring of our medical program. So the restructuring of the medical side in Michigan is apparently rather slow going.
How so?
Here's what I don't understand. There's 5 people, one of which has been on vacation forever, during this time where they're trying to get all of this restructured and businesses approved and up and running by, what is it, June 1st, I think? It's less than a month away now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, 8 Mile is still a graveyard,
Right.
a dispensary graveyard.
So they've got this panel of 5, one of which has been on vacation. And so they couldn't, I mean, they would vote on shit and tie and be like, well, I guess we have to wait for Marge to come back from Hawaii in 2 weeks.
Why don't you fire Marge and replace her ass?
Yes. I like that idea.
Meanwhile, they have separately a department that is in charge of approving all these new applications, right? In order to comply with the new restructured medical program in Michigan, you had to reapply, whether you were an up and running business or not. Any guesses as to how many people they have working in this department?
1.
Absolutely right.
Oh, Jesus.
One person. This is your government at work. There's 5 people to sit around and debate as to like who should get approved. Well, not even who should get approved, but like what are the requirements for getting approved, and who, you know, what type of they're currently going over what ailments are approved for medical marijuana, looking to possibly add things like Alzheimer's and Asperger's, and what was there was another big one.
Sobriety.
Yeah. And yes, and meanwhile, there's just one person actually doing all the paperwork and looking through everything.
Sounds
and
efficient.
Right.
That
Good job,
person,
government.
Any guess as to how many is they're now less than a month away? It's going to be even closer by the time this podcast. How many applications have been officially approved by this one person?
0.
8.
You are right again,
Oh,
Chris.
damn.
I read
Shit.
ahead.
Absolutely 0 applications approved. How long does it fucking take? Is this a full-time job for you?
Yeah.
You one person, whoever the fuck you are? Is this something that you go into work and spend 8 hours a day doing?
Sound like an idiot.
Because I think...
Well, the approval, the stamp that says approved, the rubber stamp, it's in another state. Ironically, they keep it in Indiana.
Right. They have
so
to
she has to go to
ship it out.
Indiana. No, she has to drive to get it.
Oh, of course.
So she can
yeah.
claim the mileage, so the state can give her a mileage check.
Is this going to be one of those things where, like, Channel 4 investigates and turns out this person's never at work?
Probably. Well, it sounds like Marge is never fucking there. Person number 5. This is why I think the government is a joke. State, federal, local.
Yeah.
Because you hear shit like this and go, wow, if my job ran like that, I wouldn't have a job too much longer because we'd be out of business.
Right. The problem with the medical system, the way it existed, was only that it had been so poorly enforced over the decade plus that it's been in existence. It wasn't like out of control, needed to be totally overhauled. They just let it grow wild.
Yeah.
You know? I think the law enforcement in this state, like in many others, early on in medical programs, felt like they were kind of in a limbo. Well, we're just not going to go after it, but regulating it makes it look like we're admitting that this is happening underneath our watch, and knowing that any day the feds could decide to come in and say, hey, we're going to come sit in your state for a little while and check out your medical program, see how it's going.
They're not gonna. They haven't. It's been a decade.
But it's possible. The way the law is structured, that federal classification of drugs supersedes states.
You had Democratic presidents the whole time. You never did. Now
no, it never did. You're absolutely
2
right.
2 years into a Republican one.
It could happen.
But in the same way that banks are worried about dealing with the money side of it because they have to be part of the FDIC. You know, they're still in this limbo. It doesn't happen. It generally doesn't happen. I mean,
we need the FBI weed.
You can't say that it doesn't happen at all. There's certainly we see cases of the DEA going after for decades now, going into dispensaries, places that, you know, some of these were operating outside the law, others were totally conforming to their local state law, and still getting raided by the DEA. So it does happen. I forgot what my bigger point here was. But anyway, yeah. One person, none approved so far, which means that come June 1st, it's going to be another situation like we had before where they're forced to basically operate illegally or just shut down completely. Because the board has been very strict about one thing for sure. They want to make sure that it's known that you cannot operate unless you've been approved for a license.
Damn.
And this process has already been going on for weeks, and not
Get
one.
your shit together!
I mean, is this one person parallel processing all of these applications, and then just one day there's going to be, 100 of them all approved at once? She just goes through and stamp. May
30th.
Right. She does
900 rubber stamps.
Yep.
Her workspace, I don't know why this is a female in my mind, but her workspace is like all this paperwork for each one spread out like it's a signing session. Am I the only one that lost?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I thought something went wrong. My headphone cord had pulled out.
Ha.
Oh.
Anyway, they sign shit. Like if you write a book.
Yes. They stack them all up.
They have them all like laid out, opened up, and like all overlaid. So you just go through and sign.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you just do that with these applications.
Right. And just, one day. Right. On May 30th, they all get approved. No, that's not how government
I know
works.
that the rule is right now if you applied, you're allowed to be open. That's how. If your paperwork is sitting on this lady's desk, you are allowed to be open right now.
I'm not going to definitively say that you're wrong, but it's not what I've read. I've read both, actually. I mean, I think the first understanding of this is that businesses would be allowed to operate as long as they got their application in by this time.
Mm-hmm.
That's only for that period up until final cutoff date of June 1st that we're looking at. They're allowed to stay open until then. If their application doesn't get approved by then, they have to shut down on June 1st.
See, now, if I were them, I would be somewhere going, hey, this is on you now.
So far, I mean,
this is your incompetence.
If we're like 3 weeks out right now from the end of the month already, then how many of these could even possibly be approved? 5?
Better start mailing them next week.
10?
Yeah.
At the rate you're going at, it seems like the answer would be in the single digits.
No, you know what they'll do? You know what they'll fucking do because they're the government? Because the federal government did this to me at my day job last year.
Yeah.
There was a FDA, the FDA had said finally, all right, calorie count's got to be on everything, and it's got to be by this date. and we had to hassle everybody we work with to go, hey, order your new menus, get all this shit in because you got to have new menus with calorie counts and all this and that. And then 3 days before the deadline, the federal government comes out with, hey, we moved the deadline. Y'all got another year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm envisioning something like that going on with the state. They're going to be staring June 1st in the face, realize they have 0 things approved, and go, we mean December 1st. Yeah, that's it.
There could be a part of this, too, where they are just going to hardline this because they feel like maybe Detroit's doing well off enough on its own. Like, missing out on that tax money from legal cannabis isn't going to affect them that much, or maybe that's how they feel. I mean, Detroit certainly has had its problems, and even very recently going through bankruptcy. The whole fucking emergency manager shit, which isn't a democracy, but that's for another show. Comparatively, Detroit's doing fairly well right now. Maybe they're getting cocky. Who knows? Oh, but the other thing, not to make this a all Michigan show, but it could be. While we have 5 people all sitting around debating whether an autistic child should have medical marijuana or not, when they should be doing some of this paperwork, right? Shouldn't they?
Come on, Marge.
You think they would?
Let's go.
Like pitch in a little bit.
Vacation.
Yeah. These are people like probably collecting a full paycheck for doing 6 hours a week of work a week while they come in and debate on who should or should not get medical marijuana. The recreational proposal that the representatives declined to vote on, they might be actually taking another look at that. So the signatures have been approved. Representatives don't want to vote on it, so they're going to kick it to the voters, right? That was the original plan, that we would actually see this on the ballot for 2018. Now they're going back to the state senators and proposing to bundle this with a tax break, taking the state sales tax down to 4.25%.
Really?
If they will vote to approve legal cannabis.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
Is this, I mean, maybe at a time where we have, while we still have a Republican
Yeah, but something like
governor.
that, the governor's got to sign it.
That's what I was going to say, though. While we still have a Republican governor, there might be a time to get this done. If they can attach it to a sales tax decrease.
We'll see.
That's a pretty hefty decrease.
Yeah.
Right? That's almost, what, a third?
Well, when we were all kids, it was 4%, and it went up to 6% when we were teenagers.
Did it?
Yeah.
I guess you're right. I remember that now. It seems like it's always been 6%. But yeah.
It's really just been 6% since we've been buying stuff.
Right.
Right.
It was only 4% when it didn't matter.
Yes.
Maybe we don't get a chance to vote on this. Maybe it gets approved. Either way, there's going to be a panel of like 4 people assigned to it, and they're going to drag their feet for a couple years.
So then we can just totally miss out on another industry. Good job, Michigan.
Yeah.
Right, and by the time it's up and running, we'll have people coming from California and Colorado to set up shop here because they already know how to do this.
You sent the auto industry away. Hey, fuck it. Why not? Send this one away, too.
There you go. It's a good idea.
Another thing that's happening in Michigan and in many other states that are experiencing a rather good economy at this time. It's kind of crazy, as much as myself, like many others, are not happy about having Trump as president. There's certain things you do have to concede. And at least for the short term, it looks like the tax Trump breaks are working. They're actually doing what they predicted. And, yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that issue. But the booming economy means you need more workers, right? And when you don't have enough workers to support the work that needs to be done, standards have to be dropped somewhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, you're going to see more businesses that are willing to overlook piss and dirty.
Oh, when I was out in the Northwest for work, tons of the places that I actually worked with some people that drug tested, and yet that's the rule out there now is like we test for everything but weed.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's you drug test out there. You might as well drug test for alcohol.
Right.
It's legal there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's not. I mean, I'm sure it's still a factor if you're driving a high-low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're getting like a chauffeur's license somewhere.
Well, you know, it's your doctor showing up for surgery with a spliff in his mouth. Hey,
No.
man, here to do that surgery.
Like Justin Long and Idiocracy.
I think we went here before, but yeah. My thing was if my doctor always does his work stoned, then yes, I want him stoned for that surgery. I want him at whatever his natural resting state is. If my doctor's a total high on and yet he still has successful surgeries, well then let's blaze up.
Paging Dr. Blunt. Hey, Rob.
Yo, yo.
What drugs are you on?
This week we are smoking the Banana Kush.
Is that what that is right there?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
We're all thinking of Beetlejuice right now, by the way.
Did you check it for spiders?
Oh, they could give you the 4-hour hard-on.
It'll give your banana an erection.
Yes.
That's what they do.
My banana will be hard for 4 hours.
Wait for it to ripe. But yes, Banana Kush. This legendary West Coast strain crosses OG Ghost with Skunk Haze to create a indica-dominant hybrid that tastes and smells like a bushel of fresh bananas. Although it leans towards a indica genetically, the effects are balanced by the haze's mellow sativa buzz that provides a relaxed sense of euphoria. A great choice when dealing with stress or depression, Banana Kush also helps stimulate your creative juices and can help you remain talkative in social settings. Ooh. But yes, the top 5 effects of this is relaxed, happy, euphoric, uplifted, and creative.
So this is, you say sativa dominant?
No, it's an indica dominant.
Oh, okay. But it has some sativa qualities in there.
Yep. It helps it balance it out, make it good. Help the people with the strain, you know, like the medical effects, they say like stress, depression, pain, inflammation, insomnia. It's nice. It'll help you.
It's tasty and it gets me high.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Everyone should try it.
This is it for them, right? There was no, wait, Cruel Summer. That was their other one.
This song's like...
Who is this?
Bananarama.
I like me some Bananarama. This song's
Are
like...
you getting sloppy with Bananarama? You're like, oh, no, if you want this Bananarama, you gotta go with the deep cuts.
No, Cruel Summer is the jam.
I got this Japanese import single.
Cruel Summer is where it's at.
I always think of Karate Kid when I hear that. And Lost
They actually
Boys.
did. There is a... there is an album of Bananarama songs that I think... Maybe it was... maybe they were trying to put together greatest hits and they're like, we don't have enough songs, so they just throw in a bunch of weird B-sides and covers, but... It does have the weird B-sides and covers on it, and there's some good, fun shit on there.
The greatest hits collection?
Yeah, what's on the greatest hits collection? This makes me feel like I'm on roller skates.
Yes. I was just going to say the skating rink's coming to mind right now.
Like, literally, I can feel, like, smoking this shit and listening to this song makes me feel like I'm rolling on roller skates.
I have never heard of any of these songs. Oh my god, there are 21 tracks on their greatest hits?
7-inch mix.
I thought it was like this and Venus.
Do any of them look like covers? Can you tell? Oh, there's the Hey Hey Na Na song. Yep.
Yeah, I Want You Back. Is this fucking the Jackson 5? Oh boy.
I don't think so, but who knows?
It might be.
Is it Robert De Niro's Waiting? Is that it? Oh,
Robert De Niro's Waiting. I'm compelled by the title.
yeah.
He is waiting.
Sounds like the same song. Yeah, that's kind of better, though. This has a little bit of potential.
Oh, that was Robin Williams. Robert De Niro.
Damn it.
He's talking Italian.
Trying to mix some Robert De Niro in.
Is he talking Italian?
No.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, it's just that you just have to be well behaved. Your rich daddy Duke doesn't care anything about you, so somebody's got to train you.
The hell's this from?
You've got to be trained, and it's not to be a fucking hawk and hug everybody.
This Boy's Life.
Oh, yeah. I remember that with Leonardo. Young Leo.
This is where you can get a doggy style, you can get it on your side. Those are the only options.
Oh, yeah.
It's that movie.
I remember that now. Yeah.
It's where shut your pie hole.
Yeah, shut up. On your side or doggy style. That's all you get.
Did you guys enjoy your May the 4th?
I don't celebrate that.
I don't either. But there was a TV station that was playing all of the Star Wars movies in a row.
Oh, really?
They were starting with the Phantom Menace.
Interesting.
It would be cool to just do that, I think, one time. Just to watch them all in a row.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant to watch The Phantom Menace. We know there's many people that do that for the Marvel movies. It's a lot.
Watch them all in a row.
There's like 31 hours. People watch 31 hours of Marvel movies before Infinity War.
That was insane. Yeah, I read about
And that was it. That was their first time. That was like for the premiere.
Are there breaks for showers?
They did have breaks so that
Jobs.
you could eat and shit.
Yeah.
Feeding their kids.
Maybe. No.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Weasel Podcast. Following us on Twitter at the Weasel420 or on Instagram.
The Weedsman Podcast.
And you can email the show, the Weasel Podcast, at ChristopherMedia.net, which is where you can go to click on the Amazon link. Can help us out. Does it cost you anything extra? We get a little piece of what you buy. Everybody's happy. Or there's a straight donate button if you just want to cut out the middleman and go here. Here's some loot. Check out all the other podcasts, ChristopherMedia.net, and stay high.
Stay high.
Stay high.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
What makes Fairway the most unique market in New York City? We provide the best selection, period. 60 varieties of olives, 70 custom roasted coffees, 80 selections of fresh fish. Fairway, like no other market. Visit your local Fairway today. What makes Fairway the most unique market in New York City? We provide the best selection, period. 60 varieties of olives, 70 custom roasted coffees, 80 selections of fresh fish. 90 types of preserved pickles, 135 olive oils, and over 250 international cheeses. How unique is that? Fairway, like no other market. Visit your local Fairway today.